So what I'm trying to do is get a Linotype into my garage. My garage door is just high enough to get one in, but not when it's sitting on skids. So I have to have a way to easily transfer them on and off of skids. Normally, people who move machines would use a toe jack, but they're expensive and I don't have one. So my plan is to lift my Linotype up a little bit while it's still on, or well, I can still get under it with a pallet jack. It's on 4x6 skids right now. Slide these nuts under the holes in the feet, in the ends of the feet, and then drop some threaded rod, which is over there, I can't reach it, through the feet into these nuts, and just turn those nuts onto them. There'll be a nut on top just to back it up, just a regular plain old boring nut, not a thin nut, jam nut. So that'll be squished onto the foot. The foot's about 1.5 inches thick on the threaded rod. That'll stick up. What this gives me is a frame that I can line up over the feet of the Linotype, drop those threaded rods in, and it gives me a lifting point out in the middle of space that I can use to lift the machine off of the skids and then lower it down just a bit, a little bit at a time, moving side to side, and I can get it all the way down to the ground except for the height of this bolt by lifting it up, pulling out some plywood spacers, dropping it down a bit, switch to the other side, lift it up, drop it down, switch to the right, back and forth until it's on the ground except for these nuts, which is okay, because then I can use a pry bar, lift that corner up and just kick the nut out with my fingers. So to start out with, I drilled these first 3 holes last night. I didn't think to grab the camera, so they're drilled, but then what I wanted to do was use a transfer punch to transfer the centers of those holes onto the other channel, which is what I'm going to do now. So I'm just going to plop a clamp on there so I can move this around without everything going helter-skelter. Which is really to keep the positioning this way in line so I don't end up with it getting it out of register. So I stopped by everyone's favorite store, Burns & Auto, and picked up what I'm sure will be a very high quality set of transfer punches. Now I've looked at these before and thought, because the small sizes are all kind of bananas and not the greatest, but I needed a transfer punch, and they were open. Alright, let's see how the little ones look here. Not bad, not like the ones I've had on display. So that's a good sign. And a lovely bright Safe Hunter orange with the Power Fist logo. And I think, going off the store, that's the 1/2 inch. Oh, they're actually not marked anywhere, so I'm gonna trust that's a 1/2 inch hole. Ooh, and it fits my 1/2 inch. So now I just need a whacker. Alright. So I guess I just go like that, make it straight and thump. Ooh, nope. First hit gets it in the hole. That felt like I had contact. I don't want to wail on the thing. It's not the sharpest. Can you see that? Yep. Oh, battery's about to die, so we're gonna switch cameras and lose some video quality. So I'll be right back. Such wide angle. I had to reposition. This is making a little too much of my garage crap a little too visible. So I had a thought that maybe I should try one of the slightly smaller punches. I think these are in 64ths. I don't like that, so I'm going back to the 1/2 inch. Bit of dirt on that. That works. And I'll do this one over here, which you just can't see, so you'll have to listen. Okie dokie. Well, that worked out quite reasonable. So there's a little tiny mark there. I'm not going to take them apart until I get a better center punch on there. I like that sound every time I don't know. I get a big center punch, then if that's something I can start the I don't like the way that's looking. Wow, there's the quality of Princess Auto. That's already rounded over. These are probably going back. What a load of crap. Oh, come on. It's turned into a ball on the end. Son of a... I've been trying to make a rule of not buying crap tools because it only leads to disappointment. But like I said, look, even the sticker can't stay on. This was a dire need. So, what a load of garbage. Remember, I put the receipt in. And no, this isn't a, oh, I'll just buy and use it once and return it. I actually did want a set of transfer punches because it makes this kind of thing a little less stupid. But, alright. Good enough. Let's go poke some holes. Yeah. What is this? I just need to do a pilot. I tried to do the full half-inch in one go yesterday, and I discovered what sound my drill press makes when it stalls. Because the drill I got is it's hungry, I guess is the word. And it wanted me to feed much faster or much more aggressively than my $60 Craigslist deal drill press is willing to do. Alright, do that. Oh, that gives me enough. That does. Let me pop a hole. Okay. This should kind of find its own way. It's like a puppy. Feels pretty close. I'll spot it first. See how we go. There's not enough pressure. I don't know if you can tell. You start drilling triangles. A little bit of goo. What else? I'm gonna smell like this crap for the rest of the night. It's not really. Sometimes when I take apart old machines, I'll pop apart some piece that's been assembled since the 30s, and I can still smell that sulfur cutting oil in the threaded holes, and it's still on the threads, which to me is kind of neat, because this machine's been, whatever it is, has been used for all these years, and this little vestige of its manufacturing is still there. It's always surprising. So, if I don't feed fast like and produce big curly chips like that, the drill tries to wander and walk, and just generally make me unhappy. So, I'm done. Much better doing 3 passes than a 1 pass. Alright, well, I'm going to finish bumbling through these, and we'll come back in a minute. Okay, we are all drilled. So, what's going on in here? the 3/4 inch bolt threaded rod will be dropping down between that bolts. Obviously that washer's not enough. I'm gonna have to find some plate, 1/4 inch plate, I think, slug a hole through it. And then these are what's going to be separating this, so it leaves that gap for the bolt to go through. Christmas lights. So I need something to space that out. So I bought a couple, these are shaft collars. A couple of those. No washer. Oh, 1, 2, yeah. Where did I put it? There it is. So what happens is I'll put bolt through there. Very nice. Pop a couple of these collars on. Pop the collar. Clunk that together. Put a washer on the other side. And then go nuts. Alright. So that goes on like that. These are, again, Princess Auto specials, so I won't be surprised if they don't fit. They have set screws on them. I just needed a spacer. Oh, that's encouraging. Washer and nut. That's getting heavy. Okay, and another halfway point. Thingamajigger, which I'm gonna do a little. Put that like that. Uno spacer. Dos spacer. Well, it all went together, so that's a good sign. I'm not a complete idiot. Okay. Alright, I'm a little bit dense. That took a while to find. 3/4 inch socket. But these are grade 8 bolts, so I can torque the snot out of them. Really, I should maybe have it assembled before I do that. Let's try that, shall we? There's a gnarly bit on the end of that bolt, so I couldn't just spin it by hand, and now it's making me look at the knob. There we go. Oop. So now I need to figure out what I'm going to do there for spanning that gap a little better. I guess I could knock these out, drop it on the steel plate I have laying out there, drag it into the garage using the come along and some holes in my garage floor, and then reverse the whole process to get it back up off of the ground and back onto skids. And now I have a really handy skookum is, shoot, I can't use that word anymore because of that other guy. Very sturdy and well appointed steel lifting beam of very generous dimensions, I should say. Well, there's the other side for the curious. Well, here's a little preview of the situation. It's a bit chilly out here. How much clearance do I have? I don't know if you can see. I can't. Battery died on my phone, so I can't. Frozen. I can't see the preview. So those are the threaded holes that hold this Linotype onto this skid. So what I want to do is use that pallet jack, lift this up, neaten that out of there, put some of my plywood shims under there to replace that, but that frees this space here. So then I can put my threaded whatchamadoodles through there, put this like that, drop the threaded rod down through that gap into those. Actually, I can get on either end, which is a safer configuration. And once I get that bolted through to there, and this whole thing hanging off this, then I can pop a jack under one end or both ends. Probably I'll do it under one end and put blocking under the other, and I can lift it up, pull the thing out, drop it down, walk it back and forth a couple times, go to the other side, do the same, and then I'll get this right down to ground level. I have to put a plate under here before I get started on that adventure while I still have it on the pallet jack. Well, I wandered over to the local scrapyard to look for some something to make these washers out with, and I ended up finding these. They're 3/8. They have nice rounded corners. They're burnouts from something, so they've got the start point there, but that's alright. They look pretty nice. I think I'll just run a file around to clean up that sharp edge on there, and plug a couple holes. I got 2 of them, so these can kind of be good general purpose lifting devices. I'm trying to make all this stuff so it can be reconfigured to do other things in the future. I don't think these need to be an exclusive design for this one use, so I can pop this all apart and do something else. So I think with these, so I'm thinking about putting maybe one hole close to one end and the other one a little further inboard, and that way, if I need to, I can sneak this right out to the edge of this this thingamajig here, and still have some good bearing. But I can also bolt this onto here, put a bolt through here to stop this from sliding off the end and having the salami fall off of my sandwich, should that happen. Do this a little less stupidly. Oh, look at that. As long as I can keep the square on its target, much better. Pop that off there. Square. Shoot. Backwards. Same thing here. Do that. So where I was in the first place is probably fine. Ouch. Try to keep my head out of the way. Close enough. All right, I've got my 1/4 inch Forstner bit in there, and now I'm ready to start slugging some holes. They're rated for steel, right? Actually, it's the pointiest thing I own that I think. Yeah, it doesn't have much run out. I think this is whatever I need, concentric as I'm gonna find. If I can clamp this on without messing everything up. Oh, there we go. That was a good effort. Alright. We'll see, put some sticky stuff on there. On low speed. No! Try not to do that again. Alright, well, I'm out of travel, but I'm not gonna fiddle around too much. Let's see how that goes. Want some more pressure. I love this chuck. Now, this is gonna be fun. Beauty. Oh. Maybe 5/8 in between with it. There we go. Huh. Look at that. I made a big hole. Well, that was kind of easy. I think it's doable. Well, I'm equipped to deburr something that size, but we'll figure it out. Okay, now I just wash, rinse, and repeat. The important check. Beauty. Well, the drilling's all done. There's the end result. Deburred and cleaned up these so they're not razors anymore. Kind of. This whatever laser or plasma cut edge, I don't know if you can tell, is quite hard and probably not the best for my file. But, oh, there we go. It takes a bit to break through it, but once you're through, it's a little smoother. Big old threaded rod here. And drop it through like that, and it gives me lifting ability right down to the, right out to the edge there, which is kind of handy. And if I wanted, I can use this just to, my plan is to put a hydraulic jack under it, but I could just tighten the, or, you know, turn the nuts, lift the whole shebang. Put a washer there so my stuff doesn't get all messed up. Anyway, looks good. If I'm working that, I can put a longer bolt through there and underneath, and maybe a few washers stacked together like that. But on the bottom, if I was using more than one hand, I wouldn't have problems. Yeah, like that. Up through, underneath. You know what I mean. So that'll work just dandy. For what I'll be doing, I'll probably be using just these holes because I need to slide along this here tracky thing. But you can see the kind of freedom that it gives me for lifting, because now I can get this out over top of what I'm working on, lifting the Linotype. Yeah, it seems to have assembled quite nicely. And just for record's sakes, there's the other one. just so you know, I'm not showing the one that isn't screwed up. They miraculously, I managed to get the holes. Look at that. Even though I just measured from the end, there's a bit of a difference there, but I'll stop talking now.